I just like to run my race, to feel as good as I did in London, and to run it according to how I feel in the race, not to try and get caught up in anyone else's race, but just to run how I feel. And if I feel strong, then I'll attack then. And having said that, if somebody else does attack, then I'm gonna cover that, because although it's important to run well, the main thing is to win the race, and I have to sometimes just follow the moves that other people make too.
On the shores of Lake Michigan, and with a spectacular skyline behind, you couldn't wish for a more perfect setting for the 25th running of the Chicago Marathon. Start line of the Chicago Marathon, the 25th running of this event, 37,000 competitors, but all eyes very much on the front.
Enjoying that moment. The start of the 2002 LaSalle Bank Chicago Marathon. The two fastest men in the world in this race, Paul Tergat, Carlin Canucci, and the two fastest women in the world, Catherine Ndereba, the world record holder, and Paula Radcliffe, who ran that fabulous time in London just a few months ago. And the atmosphere here this morning as we made our way to the start was absolutely electric. Everyone taking their time coming here with their various drinks. Almost 1 million spectators line this route. Give these people every bit of support they deserve. An inspirational event this nowadays.
I try not to put a limit on the time, because I definitely think I can run faster, and I think there's improvements still that I can make in training, that I can go away after this race and try and come back next year and be in better shape. So I don't want to set a limit whereby I'd be running along and think, oh, I can't run that fast, I have to slow down. I just want to run how I feel, and to be honest, I won't be looking at the clock too much on the way round, because I think that can sometimes just put little mental barriers in your head, and it's better just to run how you feel and see the clock when you've finished and know what you've done there.
8,000 happy customers, and there's the first sight of Paula Radcliffe. Not surprisingly, gloves and a hat. But Paula Radcliffe, we've got an unofficial time through 2 miles, and the unofficial time through 2 miles is around about 10 minutes and 30 seconds. We'll come closer to giving an official time on that when we get it ratified, but that suggests that Paula Radcliffe has set off at world record pace, 2 hours and 18 minutes world pace that she's running at. And Paula, who's surrounded by these class distance runners, these men who are going to run under 2 hours 20 minutes, and Paula's set herself right in the middle. She's surrounded by these people. She's actually right in the middle of that group, and she is well on her way, looking comfortable. It is cold out there today, but at the moment the wind hasn't got up yet, but they are expecting that to happen. But she won't be troubled too much by the wind, by the cold. She would be if it started blowing a gale, but here she is, well on her way. Great to see her in action again. She's raced very sparingly this year. The marathon at the beginning of the year in London was one of the great marathon runs of all time, and then at 10,000 metres in the European Championships, for me, one of the great runs of all time. And here she is now in the race she's prepared for since that European Championship 10,000 metres, the one she wanted to be in, the race she wanted to take part in. And Paula Radcliffe, the second fastest marathon runner of all time, and just behind her, behind the Japanese athlete Shibui as well, the fastest marathon runner of all time for women, Catherine Ndereba. So there's Paula Radcliffe. Just at the very back of the shot, we can see Shibui, the Japanese athlete, but Paula does look comfortable there.
Back in the women's race, surrounded by the men then, just looking for one or two of the escorts. I can't really see the men who are designated as her pacemakers, if you like, but she's certainly surrounded by a good group there. No sign of Ndereba at the moment, but Ndereba tends to have a habit of sitting off when there are other big-name competitors there. She can front run, certainly when she broke the world record here. She won by over 6 minutes, Ndereba, on that day, but I think she'll be content to stay behind Paula. But 5:22 there for the last mile. And that's very, very quick running at this early stage. And if these splits are correct, and you must bear with us that we're getting as much information as we can from on the course, and we're assuming they're correct, then that is fast running, very, very fast running at this early stage. Shibui. Brendan was saying the front coming in and how things are going to change. Well, we're told that the last mile was 5 minutes and 12 seconds. Well, that is very, very quick indeed.
There's Paula Radcliffe in the middle of that group, and just behind Paula we've seen Catherine de Reba, and the split times are really fascinating now. The last mile, an incredible 5 minutes and 10 seconds, but Paula Radcliffe has got company. She's got company from Chiba of Japan, she's got company of Shibui of Japan, she's also got company for the first time, the world record holder, Catherine de Reba.
Well, another word on the pace that she's running there. 26 minutes and 14 seconds through 5 miles would give her a winning time of, well, a minute inside the world record, around 2:17 and a half. Well, they're still making their way through Lincoln Park, and although we've been talking about world records and conditions, I know that in '99, when Canucci broke the world record in the men's world record at that time, it was pretty much a day like this. It was around about 40 degrees, the sun was shining, cold, but no wind. So if that's an omen, it's a good one. Now there's Endereba, just a few yards behind Paula Radcliffe. She's in amongst this group. Shibui just a little bit further ahead. You can probably just see her just drifting over to the far side of the road wearing the red vest. They're reaching almost the most northern part of the course, the most northern part of Chicago that they venture into.
Chiba, and there is Endereba, the world record holder for the marathon. So they're all there, they're all operating at this speed, they're all running faster than a woman has ever run before, and it is incredible what's happening here so far. And at the moment, fingers crossed, Steve, we're blessed by the weather.
Fingers crossed indeed. The keen guy in that group, you just see him looking around now, right on the right-hand side of the screen in the yellow strip with the hat on there, wearing P43. Just lost him in the picture there, but he's the key man. He's the man who's actually supposed to be officially setting the pace for Paula Radcliffe, although there are other men around there. And he's the man who is supposed to certainly take it to around about 20 miles, Weldon Johnson. And he's sticking close. I think he has a personal best of about 2:19, so he might well be feeling this sort of pace at the moment, but he's the key man for her to watch.
In this marathon than any woman has ever run before, but she's not on her own. She's got two Japanese, and she's got Endereba on the inside there in the white vest and the black shorts. So Paula looking comfortable and looking strong and looking relaxed. The mileage behind her, the training that she's done in Font-Romeu at altitude there in the Pyrenees. She really has worked hard for this. She's really worked hard for her present status as the top female distance runner in the world at the moment. Fabulous year behind her, and this is just one more step on the road to make this a glorious 2002 for Paula Radcliffe.
Tested. But I have a funny feeling that at the end of today she may well be a little better known by the American public.
Round that one of those tight corners in there, Paula Radcliffe surrounded by those very, very good male distance runners operating at the pace 2 hours 17 to 18 pace, and you've got to be a good runner to run 2 hours 17 or 18. You really have. Paula Radcliffe pushing the barriers back in women's distance running. She approaches this race without being too concerned about the pace. But funnily enough, the Chicago Tribune, the local newspaper, which is a renowned sports paper in America. I often read it in America, and I often find them to be very insightful when they talk about sport. But here, I couldn't believe the article I read yesterday, talking about Paula Radcliffe, who's done nothing to offend them, I don't think. It says, so completely and innocently does Paula Radcliffe fit the caricature of an eccentric Briton that one is left wondering whether she's a star athlete, favoured to win the marathon, or a composite of oddball characters from Monty Python's Flying Circus. Well, not a very nice welcome for Paula. I hope she proves them wrong, even though the hat does add to that thing about the Monty Python Flying Circus.
Well, the women's pace has been a little bit up and down as well. We've just brought you the last mile there, 5:17. The previous one was very, very quick. The one before that, the 6th mile, was rather slow, as it was indeed in the men's race. So I'm just querying a little bit as to that mile marker. I know that we assume that they get this very, very right. Just seems odd that both the men and the women had a very slow mile in that 6th mile, followed by a pretty quick mile the one after that. But we'll assume certainly that the cumulative time is absolutely correct. And 42:06 is bang on 2 hours and 18-minute pace. So it's just slowed slightly from the pace she was running at about 5 miles. With 42 minutes and 6 seconds is still very, very fast, and will still bring her inside the existing world record.
Well, just working that one through, that pace at 8 miles works through to 2 hours, 17 minutes and 59 seconds. So Paula Radcliffe, as well as Shiba of Japan and Shibui of Japan and Catherine Ndereba of Kenya, all of them are running faster than any woman has ever run before in a marathon. Phenomenal event this, phenomenal piece of distance running so far, but let's remember, 18 miles to go.
I think there's also a bit of interest, Brendan, in America. I haven't seen her yet, but I thought that Dina Drossen would run particularly well here, and Joan Benoit, she is now still the American record holder. And a lot of thought that Dina Drossen could certainly get close to that American record. Of course, she chased Paula home in the World Cross Country Championships. She's been performing very well on the roads. She's the new world record holder for 5 kilometers, a world best time that she set in Carlsbad. So she's had a fantastic year as well. She's kind of their Paula Radcliffe, because they feel as though she's certainly helped in terms of women's athletics here in America to take on the Africans and the Japanese and the Chinese. So I haven't seen her yet, Brendan, but I thought she would have been close.
Yeah, but her best time, Steve, 2 hours and 26 minutes, and these athletes are operating nearly 10 minutes faster than that. So I don't think she'd be very wise to operate at this pace in this early stage. I think she'd be much more sensible to come through gradually, because let's face it, they're running so aggressively here. It's country championships, that brilliant event that we had in Leopardstown in Ireland earlier in the year, where Paula was under pressure from Dina Drossen for a long time, and that was the race that started this year, which looks as though it's going to end with a fabulous performance here. Win or lose, it looks as though Paula Radcliffe's going to run another great race for the women's marathon. So 10 miles completed in the women's race, 11 miles completed in the men's race, and both of these races operating, as the race director told us yesterday, operating at world record pace. And we're looking at an athlete who's only ever run one marathon before, and running faster almost by a minute than she ran in that one. The Commonwealth Games gold medal behind her, the European Championship 10,000 metre medal already in her cabinet trophy. Everything she's done this year has been absolutely perfect in distance running terms. Paula Radcliffe. Even the hat looks pretty good on her today, I think.
Never listen to you as far as fashion's concerned, honestly. I think she's may well have 2 pairs of gloves on, so I'm told. Making sure the hands keep warm. And as you said, she's had meticulous preparations. Had Jared Hartman out here with her, looking after her, making sure that nothing could go wrong in the last few days. And of course, London, next year's Flora London Marathon in April, of course. If you're interested, then we'll be giving you some details in a few minutes as to how you can get involved in that. And be part of the marathon experience, you and Brendan. It's been a good few years since he's run one, and actually, Mark Butler, our statistician, was telling me before we came on air, Brendan, that there are a few British runners whose times could come under threat if Paula ran very, very fast. And I have to say, what's your best?
Well, I run a lot faster than she's going to run today. I ran 2 hours 15, Steve, which is about 20 minutes faster than you ever ran.
Well, maybe that won't quite come under threat, but she's certainly running at a very, very quick pace, which would be great to see her maintain a world record pace. But she's, I know, very concerned that winning the race is her #1 priority, and she's still got good company in that group. Just to give you another indication of how fast they're going, Endureda last year, when she broke the world record, went through 15 kilometers in 50 minutes and 39 seconds. This year they've gone through in 49 minutes exactly. That's over a minute and a half quicker through 15 kilometers. And certainly Endureda, as Paula did in London last year, they started slowly. Both of them ran very much quicker in the second half of the race than they did in the first. But this is different. This time they've gone out from the start with intentions to run quick. Very, very quick time as well, because Shibui, Brendan was talking about sort of setting off at a pace which isn't too far inside your best. Well, she's certainly heading for something at the moment. About 6 or 7 minutes inside her personal best. The last mile, 5 minutes and 27 seconds. That's, as I looked
to go, then you can settle down and decide who's in competition with you, who's going to give you a race to the finish, how competitive you still can remain, and whether you can win the race. As though Khaled Kanucci is running faster than he's ever run before. He's won this race 3 times. He won in '97. He set a world best in '99. He won in 2000. He missed out in 2001. After running the World Championship Marathon and being very disappointing in that by dropping out. But here he is here now in the Chicago Marathon, trying to win it for the 4th time, looking as though he will win it for the 4th time, and a last mile of just over 4:40.
With this uphill ramp just might take its toll in these latter stages. Indeed, he's looking behind, and perhaps with an eye on making sure that
Kanucci, he's defeated the men he was worried about, and the surprise packet, Takaoka, still hanging on to that 2nd place there, and he's been challenged by El Muaziz and Paul Turgat, but this man is only being challenged by himself. Khaled Kanucci on the way to a fabulous performance.
The world record has gone, but nonetheless, he wins Chicago once more in a super, super fast time. Khaled Kanucci, king of the marathon. Great race for 2nd place. Looks like Daniel Njenga, who stayed with that lead pack all the way through, is going to take 2nd place in a great race with Turgat behind him.
Thank you to his country. Now, Paula Radcliffe, still operating faster than any woman has ever done before. North side, she's approaching 2 hours and 12 minutes. She's got 6 minutes to break the world record, and that is really, really going to happen for Paula Radcliffe today.
Well, the official time we've just been given for 25 miles was 2 hours, 10 minutes, 54 seconds. 4 wins, but this time it's a new world record. Smashed it to pieces. Smashed it to pieces, Paula Radcliffe has 2:17.17. And Brendan has said it on more than one occasion that that is the best piece of running currently. They're always coming up with the goods. Now, finally, perhaps she can go away and have a rest after one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen.
That was the greatest piece of distance running we've ever seen, Steve. 2 hours, 17 minutes, 90 seconds faster than anybody's ever run before. She averaged 5:14 for each mile there. That was one colossal performance. Congratulations to Paula. We've been watching this coming for an awful long time, and finally it's there.
Well, Brendan is going to go down and try and get a few words with Paula as quickly as we possibly can, but just let's give you some of those stats. As he was saying, a new world record, 2 hours, 17 minutes and 17 seconds. She ran the second half almost a minute quicker than the first half. She did it here, what Paula's got to say with Brendan.
Really well. I mean, I went through the first half feeling good, and everyone said the second half was faster, so I tried to kick on there, and I felt good, and then I just went through a really bad stage, about 22, 23 miles. I really needed the toilet, and I thought I was going to have to stop. And then it just went off, so I was all right, but it was at 5:22, I was thinking, oh no.
But what about it? I mean, the crowds are great, the race was great, you had great company and support around you. I mean, you averaged 5:14 for each of those miles all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to hold it back during the first half, and then the second half pushed on a little bit, and I was running with a group of US guys who I think were trying to get their time, so that was helping me. And then I just tried to keep pushing on, but I was really surprised how much support there was out there for me. There were so many British people and flags out there, so hopefully the others had good runs too.
The crowds helped you on the way then?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there were a few quiet spots, but it was good. I thought it would be really quiet after London, but it wasn't at all.
Can we have a word with Gary? He's down there and he just whispered in your ear. He said, I thought you'd run 2:17. Gary, come and have a word with us. You've been so supportive of Paula. She's got a little bit to thank you for.
She's got nothing to thank me
I've
for.
got a lot to thank him for. Yes, I have. He's taken a lot of stress this week as well, because it's been tough this week, and he's been ill, so he's been trying to stay away, and he's been in quarantine most of the week.
What time did he tell you you were going to run though?
They said him and Jera said about 2:17:30, didn't
No,
they?
she's been really enjoying this jumping out story, and she ran 2:21:21 here, so I said you can do 2:17:17.
2:17:17. Oh, you should have gone to the bookies, Gary, with that one. Congratulations, Paula. What a delightful performance. Such a pleasure to watch you. Remember 10 years ago when you won the Boston in the World Junior Championships? America's not a bad place for you, is it?
No, it's not at all, and they've really got me behind me on the course today.
Do me a favour. Have a rest.
Oh, I'm definitely having a holiday now. I'm chucking the trainers away till I get home.
Well done, Paula. Fantastic.
Thank you.